DDR5 memory prices are finally dropping and PC gamers can finally rejoice. Yeah, if only things were that easy, but it seems like a lot of the tech media outlets are jumping the gun a bit with their headlines. So, what I wanted to do was take a look at what's actually happening in reality and see if things are lining up with their claims. If you should buy memory right now or if you should just continue to wait. Let's discuss that in this video. Hey, what is going on, guys? Danny here. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be discussing why a lot of the tech media outlets are reporting that memory prices are going to crash or come down significantly, and prices on DDR5 memory kits are also going to come down in the foreseeable future. I figured it'd make sense to go over the context and the information that's provided in the WCCF Tech article as to what they're claiming, and then take a look at around the market to see what's actually happening and what's reflected on store shelves. So I've got the WCCF Tech article pulled up over here, and I wanted to show you guys actually a little bit ahead of what their claim is as to why DDR5 memory prices are even going to drop in the first place. And what they state here is we've already discussed the Turbo Quant in a previous post. So actually, what they're referring to is a tweet that was put out by Google Research. So this is like their AI division. And what they state here is our new compression algorithm that reduces LLM key value cache memory by at least a factor of 6x and delivers up to 8x speedup, all with zero accuracy loss, redefining AI efficiency. And then they link the actual full blog and white paper that you can check out. And so what they also said was Google suggested that there isn't a noticeable difference in long context workload once the compression layer is applied, implying that the real world won't actually need as much memory desperately as it does right now. But many experts, they say, have denied this claim. Now, who are these experts? We don't know. They haven't given any context on that. Is it actual AI researchers and AI hardware bros that are actually denying this claim, or is it, just a bunch of finance bros who are, banking on the stock, and they don't want the stock to fall, right? Because actually, if we take a look at, the stock price for SK Hynix within the 5 days, so this is during the announcement. Their stock price dropped. SK Hynix is part of the big three. We can take a look at Micron. They went through pretty much the exact same thing. And then finally, you can take a look at Samsung Electronics, and they went through the same thing as well. But going back to the article over here, it says that if you could reduce memory requirements in any way, that would open up further opportunities for manufacturers to ramp up production of their DRAM products, since we know the current supply chain is severely bottlenecked. I thought this was a little bit of a weird statement to put out here because these guys, Samsung, SK Hynix, and their execs have been on record already stating that they could have actually ramped up production to appease both the consumer side of the business along with the data center AI center of the business as well. But they deliberately chose not to do so because just in case, the AI bubble explodes and pops, which, eventually it will, they don't want to be left holding the bag and have a surplus of stock of memory in the market, where prices are just going to completely fall off a cliff, and then, it hurts their bottom line. So what they want to do is they want to artificially keep up this scarcity, because then this way, if the bubble does pop, um, the amount of stock that's out there in the market, you're not going to be dealing with a surplus. So this will still keep memory prices high, or at least the fall won't be as drastic. So that is one of the plays that they have here for the market. And I mean, to be fair, they do state that as for the above memory price reduction, so what they're showing in this article, the deal we'll take a look at, it could be triggered by an inventory sell-off for turbo quants unveiling, so like a knee-jerk reaction. That's just the assumption for now. So for gamers looking for memory for their builds, they could refer to the deals we just mentioned. But I mean, if we go back earlier into the article and take a look at what they actually are citing, so it says that over at Amazon US, Corsair memory modules have seen a rather impressive price drop, with the Vengeance DDR5 SKU featuring 32 gigabytes capacity and speeds up to 6400 megahertz now retailing for around $379, which is a decent drop from their highs of around $490. And I mean, that is a significant drop, even if you zoom out and take a look at things in the grand scheme, right? That even the dropped price is still very, very high. So, and then they further on state that this drop also extends to the 16 gigabyte modules, with the DDR5 5200 SKU retailing for around $219 $99, which is yet again a modest discount. Again, going back to what prices were before all of this started, it's still absolutely crazy. And they do state that it is important to note that these drops are more aggressive as prices were near the higher end just a week ago. So I actually haven't been paying much attention over this past month to DDR5 prices because I'm like, what's the point? I'm just so tuned out of it. I'm sure all of you guys are as well. So I mean, this is something that I was kind of waiting for, some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, but I mean, we've still got a long ways to go. And so what I wanted to do next was actually go on to Newegg.com. And I like using Newegg.com just because it has better filter options compared to Amazon's website, even though Amazon.com was the was the website that they were sorting the pricing from. But I wanted to use Newegg.com just because it's easier this way. And I mean, prices between Newegg and Amazon aren't too drastically different, if at all. So what we'll take a look at first is we'll take a look at DDR5. We'll take a look at 32 gigabytes of memory, and just take a look at to see what prices are going for. Um, Actually, no, not 32 gigabytes. So what we want to do is select 16 gigabytes and go for the 2 by 16 kits. Um, I'll go instead of featured items. It's always best to just go lowest price and make sure you have, if you do this kind of searching for yourself, you make sure you select in stock and sold by Newegg. And yeah, I mean, we can see that prices, it looks like they have come down compared to maybe where they were trending about a month ago, earlier in the month, right? Where they were in the 400s, high 400s. It looks like prices are coming down into the mid 300s. But I mean, this is still obscenely high compared to where things were in the summer of 2025 before this whole AI craze started. Because back then, you could find a 32 gigabyte DDR5 6000 CL30 kit for as low as $100. Sometimes I would even see them go on sale for like $90 or like $85. So, given where we were, like 8, 10 months ago, and we take a look at what these prices are, even if they have dropped, this is still like triple or over triple the prices compared to that. And I mean, if you're super desperate and you really need a build, sure, you can go into it. And I think there's a lot of FOMO still also happening in the market because I'll go on places like the Build a PC subreddit forum or the Canadian version of it, and sometimes I'll see these drastic drops where like a 32 gigabyte of DDR5 memory may be selling for like $220, and all of a sudden it like sells out in an instant because that's still a huge drop relative to where we are right now, but people FOMO into it, not realizing that no, this is that price, even though it is like it's like a 50% or 100, almost like 80% drop in some cases. They don't realize that the price is still way higher than where we were. So I don't think, I mean, I personally would not be buying RAM at this price as well. And I mean, I can probably confidently say a lot of people would be holding out as well because these prices are still absolutely ridiculous. Um, a lot of these are like 6,000, 6,400 kits. I haven't even actually filtered out what a DDR5 8000 kit would go for, right? Because if you're on Arrow Lake and you want to get the most out of that platform, especially with the new release of the 270K Plus and the 250K Plus, which are looking like really good CPUs that are just optimized out of the box better. You want to make sure you can give it the best memory you can, really to let the CPU stretch its legs. So I mean, I'll filter that out, and I'm just curious to see what a 32 gigabyte DDR5 8000 kit goes for. And yeah, it's still obscenely priced, like oh my god, $600, nearly $700. Whereas I remember buying an 8200 CL36 kit. This was like at the end of 2024, I believe, or early 2025. But I remember buying that kit, and it was like only like $150 Canadian or something like that, or $180 Canadian. It was relatively cheap, way cheaper than this. So I mean, if you are an enthusiast and you were looking to get the most out of these platforms and you wanted to tune and get really fast memory, yeah, it's better to just hold out and go for one of those mid-range 6,000 kits if you really need something, right? But let's move on and let's take a look at like what 64 gig kits are going for. So if we go 2 by 32, Let's take a look over here. DDR5. Okay, so when we take a look at DDR5 64 gigabyte, so 2 by 32, I mean, these prices are still also ridiculous. I remember these kits were going for around $200 and before everything, shot up in price. So, yeah, we're still looking at like triple the price, if not even more than that. So this is just absolutely ridiculous. And PC Part Picker actually has these useful pricing trends for various parts that you can check out, whether that's CPUs, memories, video cards, whatnot. And I was taking a look, and if we go all the way down to DDR5 6000 2 by 32 kit, so 60, this is a 64 gig kit, and they're averaging the price out in USD over the last 18 months. Um, it looks like prices have plateaued in like March and February, but they're saying the average price is around $1,000. So I mean, it's still extremely high. Like you can go, yeah, like September and take a look. $200 is what these kits were going for, right? So you're looking at like a 4 or 5x increase there still right now. So I really would not recommend getting any of these kits. They're too obscenely priced. And yeah, I mean, I don't think most people are. So I think they're just going to hold out until this bubble like fully pops and deflates and things go back down. And the other thing I wanted to mention too is like, this is not going to be an overnight thing, right? It's not like all of a sudden something pops and then a switch is flipped off. I guess in this case it's flipped off, and then all of a sudden we're back down to where prices were like 8 months ago. This is going to be more of a gradual thing too. Even when prices or even when the bubble pops, prices are going to slowly come down and slowly come down because manufacturers and retailers, they're going to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that they can still cash in on the high prices and take advantage of the situation. Um, and like I said, the memory manufacturers, they don't want to be dealing with that surplus along with the retailers. So the best thing to do is just hold out and wait for your vote with your wallet. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. I figured I'd make this video because everyone was like, "Oh my god, DDR5 memory prices, they're gonna come down. The bubble is popping. Look what Google did." And I'm like, hold on, let's just pump the brakes on that because I don't think this is gonna happen so soon, if at all. And from the prices I'm seeing right now, it's a no go. Like I do not recommend these kits at these prices. So yeah, my recommendation is bide your time with whatever you can with in terms of the hardware that you have, and keep holding out. But yeah, thought I'd give you guys this update, and hopefully things do rapidly change. But yeah, we'll see. That's going to do it for this one. We'll touch base in the next video. Take care.
If you guys found this video to be informative and entertaining, then leave a like. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to check out the video description for cool links and ways to support the channel, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.